Hey guys, this is Spark Plus Ultra here, and this is part 2 on what if Asta had Akaza abilities, fireworks, and I hope you like this video. And both Yuno and Asta were going back to the Clover Church, and when they get back to the church, the Father Orion, Sister Lily, and other church kid were seeing Asta and Yuno, wondering what their grimoires are. And Yuno's is, well, a four-leaf wind grimoire. And for Asta, he has a markings on his body that are reminiscent of, well, Akaza. But unlike Akaza blue, his are, well, black lines marking all around his body. And Father Orion says, I haven't seen this before. And Sister Lily was also amazed on what Asta looks with it. And Asta feels his body weighing down on him. I think I popped my shoulder for a second. And Yuna says, is it that heavy? And Asta says, here, hold my arm, and try to lift it. And Sister Lily then does that and feels the weight of tons of rocks on his one arm. And Sister Lily says, how are you moving? And Orion was also curious on why. And Asta says, I'm just that built. And Yuno says, he's basically small but tough. And Asta, hearing that, you're lucky I weigh like 1,000 tons of rocks, pal. Then Asta, we're done talking, and Asta then trained to get stronger, and his body becomes physically inapted to be strong enough to keep his body from not swaying down from the weight of the black marks on his body. Nothing like having a exercise. Lifting 2 stones, very heavy ones at that, and holding another one with a rope with his teeth. And basically being a freaking badass while lifting 100 tons rocks. And then he felt Yuno's presence, and Yuno said, guess you're training. And Asta says, I got enough to get through this. Now I can finally get at the moment to get to be a wizard knight. And Yuno smirks and says, alright, it's almost time. Let's get going, Asta. And Asta says, yep, no problem, Yuno. Then they left to become Wizard Knight at the Wizard Knight test. And when they were walking to the Clover Village, when both Asta and Yuno got back to Clover Village, all of the villagers were feeding anti-bird. And Asta didn't know what they were, but until he was walking to go to become a magic knight, a bunch of anti-birds circle around him. And Yuno says, hey, I guess I like you, Asta. I think you're a worm. And Asta says, oh, come on! That's not fun, Yuno! Get off of me! Asta was trying to get rid of those anti-birds, but to a bunch of little pesky birds that are giving him annoyance to deal with. And then a big anti-bird flies up and scares off all the little anti-birds and plops down on Asta's head. And Asta then got a little angry on that one, but at least it gets rid of the little ones. But the villagers laughed that all the anti-birds circled him because he didn't have any magic. And Asta takes a deep breath. And sees Asta silently being angry for a bit. And Asta says, "Let's go, before I get even more madder." And thinks to himself, he really is a hot-tempered one. When both Asta and got into the Magic Knight's training room, they were given brooms to fly. Basically, test if they could fly or not. With some of the testies were thinking it's hardly impossible, so to not fly unless you got poor magic control. Obviously takes it because he's and he's flying in his broom with minimum ease. But with Asta, he couldn't do it. He tried and sighed and says, "Well, I was expecting more or less, because my hands are literally weigh like a ton of bricks." Then Seke tried to help him to make himself look good, but Asta then says this, "I don't think it'll help much. Lift my arm and see." And Seke says, "Aha! Oh, are you pitiful? Okay, let's see the point." And when he grabbed Asta's arm, it weighs like a ton of bricks. Like, it's not just muscle, it just literally weighs like a ton of bricks. Like, those black markings are around him, weighing him down like a sack of bricks. Even without much of a anti-magic decrease, he weighs a ton. The black markings are the ones that are doing the more effect to him. It's like the great demon sword. It's like dull metal, but weighs a shit ton. It's like Guts' Dragon Slayer sword. So, it weighs that much, because even the manga and anime show it. It weighs like a ton. So yeah, the black markings on his body are literally insignified to be weighing him down. And Seke says, "Oh, how do you even move?" And Asta says, "By training." With a chuckle and a smirk, with a brag of that. And Seke was saying, "Such a pitiful sight. I highly doubt you could even beat any other test." And then the creation magic. Yeah, Asta couldn't do that, even if he tried to. Then the creating a spell and shooting it off. Asta looks like Seke and rolls his eyes. Then uses one of his techniques, which aren't magic, it's just literally his strong will power, and hitting the target and destroying it. And Seke was surprised on that one. And Asta says, "Are we done?" And Seke was mostly getting annoyed with Asta's rude behavior with him. So he wants him to give a lesson to him. "Why don't you face me on there, and I won't take a step on the ground." And Asta looks at him and was confused on why he said that. And Seke says, "Oh, are you scared? Haha." And then Asta then heard that and says, "Sure, I'll beat you in a second." With a face of anger, with a smile, ready to wanting to beat down this jerk. And then they were both on the arena. Both Seke and Asta were in their positions to take each other on. And Seke was ever so cocky, bringing himself up to cast a magic to defeat Asta with without trying or taking it seriously. Asta looks at him and scratching his teeth, grinding them. You know, the canine teeth? He grinds them with annoyance and thinks to himself, this jerk is gonna ask for it. And he puts his stance up and looks at him, giving a grunt of annoyance. And Asta thinks, I tolerated him well enough, whatever this aha guy is. Then Seki says, come on, I'm just waiting here. And Asta says, that's it! Asta runs to him at superhumanly speeds. And then Seki says, you might be first, but I got the advantage. Then his bronze magic was going to create a dome shield. But Asta then breaks through it with his bare hands, which glow in red. Huh? And Asta says, now! You just anger me! And Asta then backflips to behind him and grabbing his arm. Arr! And Seki felt his arm. Asta grabbing him. And Asta then uses a technique that subdues Seki and puts him on the ground. As Seki felt his arm feeling like it snapped. Oh, what the heck are you doing? And Asta ringing up his other arm. Sorry, you're left-handed, aren't you? Huh? Seki thinks. Well, unlucky for you, I'm ambidextrous. Punching Seki down into the cement ground in his face. And Asta says, wow, sometimes my anger gets the best of me, but that's well deserved. Aha, guy. And all of the trainees and participants and onlookers saw what Asta did. He punched through magic and did some unlikely moves that none of them seen before. They see the creator from what Asta could do with his punch and were amazed. And Asta and, get the same rank as usual from what they saw from Asta as well. Then the captains of the different factions, Black Bulls, the Crimson Lions, etc., were all ready to choose the person that they want in their own guild. And Asta, doesn't have magic, so it goes as similar as usual. And Yami would take him, so obviously it was going to be easy to figure it out anyway. And Yami says, you got some interesting skills, kid. And Asta says, thanks. And checks Asta's magic and felt fear and unique sense to it. I like it. Alright, let's go. Finral, create the portal to the Black Bulls. And Finral says, right, Yami. And he teleports them to the Black Bulls base. And that's where I'm ending this video. I hope you liked this video and hope you subscribe. See you next time. Bless all, Joe.